Prince's last Diddy recording played in trial. Prince was going to expose him. Now look, I got this video here sent to me. I'm just laughing because it's title, man. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way that they played a recording of Prince or whatever, or Diddy, I don't know, but I don't think they're nowhere near that far in the trial yet. But I'm gonna still check it out to see what information could possibly be played or come up in court. Yeah. Just know that the title you're reading in the video is the video title that I'm watching. But yeah, we ain't gonna waste no more time. Let's jump right into it.
Honey, I must say that the names surfacing in Diddy's trial are already shocking, but Prince being on that list was definitely not on my bingo card. Yes, we know that Diddy used Prince's house for some of his wildest parties based on what Jason Lee spilled.
The first Diddy party I went to was at Prince's house. So you want to go to Prince's house to the Diddy party where Tyrese is performing.
I'm wondering if all of these people who have been saying that they, like, who went on record, on video or whatever and said that they attended a party, I wonder if they're going to be subpoenaed or if they were.
And Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher are swinging on swings. That is what's happening on the other side of the wall. And so the one thing that makes this party different than a Jamie Foxx party or any other celebrity party that wrangles a bunch of young women or guys or whatever too, is that Diddy didn't let you bring your security in the party.
But here's a twist. What if Prince had the cameras rolling the whole time? He was known for being private, calculated, and always in control. So what if he had incriminating footage and that's why he never attended the parties? Well, some folks definitely believe he may have kept the footage or even handed it over to someone before he passed. And now whispers are growing that his name could come up in court. Child, this trial is about to be one for the books, and I'm here for all of it. Okay, of course we already have a few names that came up during the jury selection, and some of them are people we never really expected to make the cut, like Michelle Williams.
Okay, so the title should have said Prince's last Diddy recording might get played in trial. Okay.
Robert Downey Jr., Mike Myers, and Lauren London. But then there are names we definitely expected to come up, like Cassie, who filed the first lawsuit. Remember, Cassie said in her lawsuit that a lot of things that happened to her were witnessed by Diddy's staff and employees of Bad Boy Entertainment and Diddy's related businesses, but no one dared to speak up. In fact, these assistants were the ones tasked with the responsibility of taking gifts to Cassie after a DV incident. And Cassie even said in the lawsuit that the assistants were also the ones who would help to set up the freak-offs where everything took place, including by setting up the hotel suites with baby oil and Astroglide. Cassie even said in the lawsuit that after one of the incidents, Diddy's head of security and assistant saw her and they both began to cry. So we expect a lot of these staff members to be summoned. Anywho, Harve Pierre, who was implicated in a lawsuit against Diddy filed by a Jane Doe, also made the cut. She claimed Harve Pierre convinced her to fly from Detroit to New Jersey, where she was allegedly SA'd by him and Diddy. Other than Harve, Young Miami, who was on Diddy's payroll and was allegedly even a transporter of substances, was also mentioned in the jury selection process. Someone else on the list is Dallas Austin, and all I could gather is that the producer was a childhood friend of Kim Porter, Diddy's late wife, who became a point of conversation as people speculated if Diddy had something to do with her sudden death. There's also Lorianne Gibson, who filed a complaint about Diddy to the police back in 2007, claiming Diddy picked up a chair, threatening her on the set of MTV's Making the Band. Aubrey O'Day was also mentioned, but she has been outspoken in her support for Cassie going public with her allegations against Diddy, and she also accused him of making his own inappropriate advances towards her. Former Danity Kane member Dawn Richard also made the cut, but we also know that she previously sued Diddy, accusing him of SA. The suit accused Diddy of beginning his alleged tirade when she began filming MTV's Making the Band, saying that he used demeaning insults toward female participants. Then while working on music, the suit claimed that Diddy forced Dawn to rehearse for hours with no sleep and took advantage of her. Dawn Richard also claimed she witnessed Diddy get physical with Cassie while high. In addition, Michael B. Jordan was also mentioned, but we know he was referenced in Cassie's lawsuit because the two had a flirty relationship in
So Cassie said he would get physical. that one male guy who did things with Diddy and Cassie said he witnessed him get physical. Don, so again, we talked about how the domestic charges aren't, what he's being, what he's on trial for. But boy, it's stacking up. And I feel that the jury is going to take that into consideration. Trying to see if they're going to get back to Prince.
2015. Well, the prosecution is likely to summon most of Cassie's exes, mostly because we know about Kid Cudi, whose car was blown up by Diddy because he had something going on with Cassie. According to Cassie, she briefly had a fling with Kid Cudi in 2011 when she and Diddy were going through what she called a rough patch. And after she reunited with Diddy, he found some emails between Kid Cudi and Cassie, and that is when he grew progressively angry. In fact, the lawsuit says that Diddy wanted to ensure that Kid Cudi was home with his friends when he blew up his car. And true to his word, Kid Cudi's car did blow up in his driveway. Well, we expect a bunch of other names to come up during the trial, but like I said, Prince was not on my bingo card, and especially not about him allegedly having a tape on Diddy. Makes me wonder, could this have had anything to do with Prince's death? Could this be the deep dark secret about his death, y'all? Well, we know that Prince knew a few days before his death that it was the end of the road for him, and he even posted a picture of himself which contained a since deleted message, just when you thought you were safe. In fact, during his final appearance at a party at Paisley Park, just after his reported treatment and days before his death, Prince reportedly told attendees, wait a few days before you waste any prayers. And just like he had predicted, Prince died at age 57 after being found unresponsive at his estate in Minnesota. At the time, health officials determined Prince died of an accidental fentanyl OD after unknowingly taking counterfeit Vicodin laced with the highly potent synthetic opioid. But it never made sense that clean-living Prince died of an OD.
Did he have health problems?
That I don't know, right? What I know is that he was really health conscious. He was a vegan. He didn't abuse alcohol.
Very strange.
I didn't know of him abusing drugs. He worked out, so that also really concerned me, because it made me think that, wow, so you mean you do all these things to take care of yourself and you die so young?
So the thing about Prince is that he fought with people a lot before he died, especially over ownership of and control over his music. He waged a career-long battle against any company that he felt stood in the way of artists' rights and money. And allegedly, he paid the ultimate price for that: death. Whether Warner Brothers was involved or not with having him unalived is still up for debate. But a lot of his fans definitely think that they were involved in his death. See, he was signed to Warner Music in 1977 when he was just 18. And even though the album he released between 1978 and 1981 did not do that well, he was kept on the label, as he was regarded as a musician that reflected well on Warner, which at the time was a company that appeared to invest long-term in serious talent. In 1982, 1 year after MTV launched, Prince released more music, and he went top 10 in the US for the first time, and became part of a new breed of musicians who understood the power of the music video as a way to market an artist and build their own iconography and mythology. At this point, fans were copying his look, and by 1984, with the release of Purple Rain, he was arguably the biggest and certainly the most exciting pop star on the planet. But it reached a point where Prince didn't like how Warner owned and controlled his name, as well as any music released under that name. He even dramatically changed his name to that of a symbol and was referred to as Symbol, Squiggle, or the artist formerly known as Prince. And he was actually pretty vocal about what was happening.
On December 31st, 1999, my publishing contract with Warner Chappell expired, thus emancipating the name I was given before birth, Prince, from all long-term restrictive documents.
I had searched deep within my heart and spirit, and I wanted to make a change and move to a new plateau in my life. And one of the ways in which I did that was to change my name. It sort of divorced me from the past and all the hang-ups that go along with it, as it's been well chronicled in deep dispute with my record label.
Which is Warner Brothers, right?
Yeah. We had some issues that were basically about ownership of the music and how often I was supposed to record and things like that. I really searched deep within to find out the answer to whether fame was most important to me or my spiritual well-being, and I chose the latter.
But you know what? Diddy was in bed with the people Prince was exposing, and he and Warner Music Group inked a joint venture deal that gave the record company a 50% stake in Diddy's Bad Boy Records label. Under the deal, Warner would market and handle digital and physical distribution of Bad Boy's catalog releases worldwide, and the label's roster of current and former artists. In fact, while speaking about the deal, Diddy even said there have been a lot of boutique record labels that come and go, and we're still here. This has ensured for the next couple of years that we have the right financial backing, the right financial structure, the right partners to remain a force in the music industry. Other than this, it has also been said that Prince possibly knew about the freak-offs Diddy was having and chose to stay as far away from him as possible. Remember, Jason Lee said that the first Diddy party he attended was at Prince's house, and the strange thing he realized was that no one was allowed to bring their own security to the party.
The first Diddy party I went to was at Prince's house. So you want to go to Prince's house to the Diddy party where Tyrese is performing and Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher are swinging on swings. That is what's happening on the other side of the wall. And so the one thing that makes this party different than a Jamie Foxx party or any other celebrity party that wrangles a bunch of young women or guys or whatever too, is that Diddy didn't let you bring your security in the party.
So Prince let Diddy throw those infamous parties at his house. No big secret there. But here's where it gets interesting. What if the security cameras were on the whole time? I mean, this is Prince we're talking about, guys. Meticulous.
Look, I'm just trying to listen. I mean, there's a lot of this stuff that I've heard and seen already. I'm really trying to connect the dots here and think like, damn, what if Prince was what if he caught wind of some, I'll just say allegedly, stuff that Diddy might have been doing that seems to be, like, I ain't talking about consensual things, I'm talking about illegal things or whatever. But I'm just like, would Diddy be that dumb to like not think that Prince, this celebrity, has cameras in his house as well? So I'm just trying to think, like, because if Prince adds cameras and he's recording stuff, you know, to get some dirt on Diddy, I don't know. I feel like Diddy, with all his cameras that he allegedly had, or no, they actually found cameras. I just don't know if he wouldn't have a team looking, like bringing security in there to be like, yo, y'all see any cameras? You know? Because it's like, why even use Prince House? You know? Strange.
Private, always a step ahead. What if he kept the footage or even handed it off to someone he trusted? Now, there are whispers that his name might come up in the trial, and that makes you think, right? Maybe the purple one knew more than he ever let on, and maybe this may have caused him his life. Maybe. Remember, even before Prince's sister Tika Nelson died, she was talking about how Prince told her he was in trouble just a few days before he died. I know there have been talks in the past about how Prince and Tika were never close, but contrary to what people may think, they were actually pretty close. In fact, back in 2018, Tika said that she and her brother were very close growing up, and he was kind of told by her parents that he would have to take care of her. So wherever he went, she had to go too. She also shared that Prince helped save her life by getting her into rehab when she was struggling with substance misuse.
Save your life and getting you into rehab.
Yes, he did. I had a long time kind of battling those things, and after my father passed, it got really bad. And so I called up Big Bruh to help. He said, okay, when and where.
In fact, when Prince realized that it was almost the end of the road for him, he started preparing Tika for his death. And according to what she said, Prince prepared her for 2 years.
It wasn't hard at all. It was a 2-second phone call. He's gone. I had been preparing for 2 years, so I knew that it was coming.
What does that mean?
He said it a couple of years ago.
What would he say?
What he said was, I've done everything that I've come to do. So I was.
All right, I'm gonna stop it because they're playing Purple Rain in the back, and I don't want them trying to take that down this video. I already seen that anyway, that clip. So look, man, I said that this trial is gonna be crazy. It may be long. I'm waiting to see, you know, because today I'm on Wednesday. It's 10:20 a.m. I'm trying to see, is she done? Is she going to testify again? I want to see if I'll Be Sure is going to come up there. I also got to see what the defense, what questions are they going to have for Cassie? That may be happening right now. I'm not sure, but that right there is going to be huge, because I feel like they are going to try their best to make her look extremely bad. Because I know everything that happened with the with her testifying the other day. I mean, I've watched so many clips, so many videos. I watched the video where this lady, she found where, it was like every question, every answer. I was going back and forth, about the guy doing what he did, the number one on her, Diddy, the number one on her. It was a lot. It was a lot that happened yesterday. So this video was sent to me, but I also want to see again what is Cassie done, or who's going to be called up next. And is Diddy going to be called on the stand? That's going to be huge too. But all right, hey, appreciate y'all coming over. Do y'all think because they said they got so many tapes, so many things of footage. Do you think possibly Prince has recordings, and if that could be used or played in the trial? Comment below. Peace out.